Hey guys, it's Alicia here. Hope everybody is having a great day. None other, I'm coming to give y'all a story time. And y'all know I have always showed y'all I was bullied in high school, but I'm going to come and talk about a very ornate story. And I have told y'all how I gotten a lot of people sent home, sent to ISS and stuff. How about I had somebody sent to the alternative school because they was pregnant? Yes, I had somebody sent to the alternative school because they was pregnant. But at the same time, this girl was poking and picking on, messing with me and bullying me as well because who my mother was. So, like I always tell y'all, my mother was a school teacher, and I'm trying to share everything that I have went through when I was in high school or when I volunteered. So the volunteer videos, I might share, I might not, but I might share one particular video. So yeah. So this video starts when I was in ninth grade, and I had to come and tell it because I think anybody who are in ninth grade, I wanted to share this video, this particular story, because one, I was a teacher's daughter. Matter of fact, as I told y'all, I've been bullied from first grade all the way up to high school, and I'm going to get to that video at a later date of how I got to only go to school for 3 years and got to graduate early. Because I'm going to tell that story. I'm going to tell that story real sooner than you think. But this story, I'm going to tell you my first year at high school. So when I was in high school, everybody at first did not know I was a teacher's daughter and stuff like that. I took certain types of classes. I just don't mention it on this platform and stuff, but yeah. And doing that, one of the classes I had, and I don't know why they did this at the time, I ended up taking ROTC and PE. So if I'm taking ROTC, I don't need to also be in PE. So I don't know how it goes nowadays, but yeah. So this is about my PE class. So in PE, Mrs. Y, she was like calling out everybody's name and stuff. And she called out my name, my full name. And she goes, Burton. She goes, Burton. She goes, so first she calls my dad's name. She goes, wait, is Charlie? She goes, is Charlie Burton your father? I said, yeah, big football fanatic. Yes, that's my father. And then she goes, wait, is the teacher, Miss Burton, your mother? I said, yes. So she knew that. So as soon as this girl hears this, so this girl, I think at the time was probably about 3 or 4 months pregnant and stuff. And she was the star of the girls' basketball team, but she was pregnant. Okay, I noticed. I'm going, okay. So she goes, so the teacher, Mrs. Burton, is your mother. And then that's when my friends, she started. So I'm just hearing her. So I'm like minding my business. I'm just minding my business. I go and wash my hands. And all of a sudden, she starts like 3 weeks later, taunting me because my mom is trying to say my mom is a smoker and stuff, and my mom did not. And then let me just tell y'all, my mom did not smoke or anything. And I go, first and foremost, you got my mom mixed up. My mom do not smoke. And I said, my mom is one of the best teachers over there. Yeah, she don't play. She's one of the toughest teachers, but she does not play. And this girl, I'm gonna call her S because her name did start with an S, kept taunting me. And like they go, Lee's just trying to ignore it. She kept going. So some of my friends like kept telling her, you really need to stop. So finally, by the end of the month, I have had it. So I ran into Dr. R. Dr. R said, hey, Elise. I go, hey, Dr. R. She goes, Elise, why are you being so sluggish? It's just PE. I said, I hate PE. And she like pulled me to the side and she said, why you hate PE? And I told her what was going on and stuff. And I said, you're gonna have to be, if you come down there, you're gonna have to be sneaky to go down there and stuff like that. And she goes, and so when I told her what's going on, she just thought, okay, she remembered what I went through when I was in middle school. And she's like, Elise, if you need anything, just come to me, just come straight to me and stuff. And I said, okay. So I made a decision after I talked to Mrs. R to go to the school. My mom and I was at the store and I brought a little notebook. I said, no, just something that I have when I go to PE. She going, oh, okay. So for 3 weeks, you guys think this is a semester, semester to semester. So I'm writing everything down. I'm writing down the dates. She's like picking on me, messing with me. I'm writing down dates. And my friends see that I start writing down the dates and what she was doing. So my friends would go in and kind of correct my little writing a little bit and stuff. They would tear both of the pages out and they would like rewrite everything. And when they do it, they would rip it up real good for nobody can find the evidence. So after 2 weeks, I went to my mom's school. I went to my mom's school. My dad dropped me off. And I've gone, and my mom was like, said, just sign in at the office and then come on down to the room. And I said, they would say, hey, Elise, and then my mom said, oh, okay, you go copy this. So I would take the little notebook with me, make my mama's her copies, and then I will copy my 2 pages. And I will literally get this go over there just where I can copy this notebook, or I can let Dr. R what's been going on. So I was writing down everything what was going on and stuff. And then one day, so Mrs. White offered to lock up my purse while we are up there doing PE. So I said, okay. So we locked up our purse and stuff like that. So it was like one day, she gave us a free day. And this is where I got ticked. And she said, we ain't going to do, nobody's is going to leave. And like, who stole so-and-so's money? She said, Alicia, I got your purse. So, and I didn't think, and I said, yeah, and you gave it back to me and stuff. And I had my purse. And then she called this female black principal. I can't think of her name. We're just going to, yeah, I know her name was Mrs. N. I'm going to say Mrs. N. She called Mrs. N. And she's letting everybody giving everybody a chance to give up the girl's money. And she said, oh, I'm going to strip search y'all. And I raised my hand and she said, yes, Elise. I go, you know you can't strip search us. And she goes, Elise, please, like I know what your dad does and I know what your mom does. And I said, you forgot, I'm somebody's cousin. And my certain cousin's dad is a lawyer. And she goes, yeah, no. I said, yeah. And my friends revealed who my cousin was. And they look at each other and they still strip searched us. Okay, so that weekend, I let my uncle know. I said, Uncle, I think you might want to come to the school Monday. He said, oh, I got a lot of stuff to do in the office. I said, well, this you might want to come and so they said, what you talking about? My uncle said, what you talking about? And I literally told my mom and my mama and her sister and my uncle was up in there. And I told them we were strip search Thursday. And she goes, I said, Mom, I tried to tell you. And then he goes, y'all was strip search on Thursday? I said, by who? And I said, Mrs. N. And he go, oh, I know that. He said, that female principal? I said, yeah. And I told her she couldn't strip search us without our parents' permission. And he goes, you told her right. And she still went on and did it. They said, what was the cause of it? And I said, it's this pregnant. And I literally said, it's this pregnant bee in the class who's been picking on me. And he goes, what? My mom said, why you didn't say anything? I said, I was trying to take care of it myself. I said, it's been going on almost ever since she found out I was your daughter. And my uncle said, hold up, I'm going to handle the principal, but first of all, I'm going to handle the PE coach too. He said, "Who's the coach?" I said, "She lives on the same road as y'all." And she said, "How you found that out?" I said, "A lot of kids, overheard the girl say where she lives." And he said, "Who is it?" And I said her last name, Young. And he said, "Coach Young." I said, "Yeah." So my uncle, let me just say, went up to the school. They handle it. I didn't know nothing of it. I didn't tell. I just told them. They found. So the coach got. So the coach they gave her a leave for a week. They gave her a leave for a week because of the incident, and the black principal got a warning, and I just didn't get why she wasn't fully punished. She wasn't fully punished. Let me just tell y'all that. So this girl kept on. She kept on. She kept on. To finally, this was like sort of like the end of the first semester. I popped off, and I was out at the track. And so funny. One of the girls who knew my mom, a girl who my mom taught, her class is like way on the other end, but she can hear me pop off. And I went and I popped off on this girl. Let's just say I said some things I shouldn't said to a pregnant girl at the time. But you gotta think, she kept nudging and messing with me and stuff. And then, so Coach Young, was like saying, "Liz, you need to apologize. That's not nice." And I said, "How I'm gonna apologize where you sit up here and you let this girl do this?" I said, "It's been going around that she lied about the money situation." And I said, yes. And I told her if she wasn't so and so, I would beat her up. Because throughout this time I was like pissed up. I had changed completely because I started watching wrestling. I started getting bolder, and I said, "Oh, if she wasn't so and so, I would beat the crap out of her." And I promised y'all I wouldn't be able to do anything to me. Okay. So one of my friends went to go find, after the bell rang, they took me to the Mrs. Double R counseling office. They know if I'm up in there, they can get her to get me to apologize. I'm going, nope, I'm not apologizing. I said, why would I apologize to a pregnant, And she was the one who's been bullying me all semester about who my mom is, and bullying me and talking about my mom and the fourth grade teachers in a way. And she goes, "That's not your concern, da 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 da." And I said, "Do you know who I am?" And Mr. C going, "We don't give a care who you are." And I said, y'all might lose your position if y'all knew who I was. He go, "You don't talk to us that way." I said, "Really?" I said, and like my friend said, I said, "No, let's wait a minute and see if Dr. R come up in here." So they said, "The principal?" I said, "Yeah." So 2 minutes later, here comes Dr. R. She goes, "Alicia's not apologizing for crap. I know what's been going on and stuff." And she goes, "This girl's been bullying her for almost a semester. And Coach, why you let this girl get away with crap and it came out? And you know who had to talk to her uncle? Alicia." And then when the principal here, with the other assistant principal, Mr. C, found out who my uncle was, baby, he got scared. He backed off. And then when he said, "I don't give a care about this teacher thing, that's none of her business," she goes, "Alicia knows every teacher over there in the fourth grade." And then that's when she revealed who my mom was. And they're like, "Mrs. Double R, dog." "Yeah, right." I said, look it up. And then she said, and then that's when he said, she said we could lose our jobs and stuff. He said, "Y'all might want to tread lightly." So Mrs. R telling them, "You might want to tread lightly." So Double R, she goes and look up my information, and when she found out, she go, "Oh." And so the bell had run. I said, "Y'all ain't gonna give me no pass." She said, Mrs. R said, "Alicia, I'll take you to class." I explained to your teacher. And they go, Alicia, you need to go get a pass. She said, oh, Dr. R. And that's when Dr. R said, no, Alicia was held up in the counselor's office for no apparent reason. Just give her an excuse. And they said, okay, yeah. And I got an excuse. And so the boys who kind of noticed that, and then before I could go to lunch, she said, and they said, Alicia, what went down in PE class? And I told her what's been going on. They're going, that's not right. So when I came back, then Mrs. H, GH, she was one of my teachers, and she goes, Alicia, I've been here. I heard what's been going on and stuff and like that in PE. They said that girl who's, yeah, I said some things I shouldn't say, but she was bullying me for like almost a whole semester until I popped off. So to make me feel comfortable going back to PE and stuff, Dr. R went to the administrators and stuff. This is what was told to my mom, and they had that girl, let's just say, had the girl, took her out of the class, but took her out of the school and put her in the alternative school. One, because one, she was pregnant. Number two, they felt like some favoritism was going on. And number three, they felt like as soon as this girl found out what my last name was and who I was, she started verbally attacking me. Thanks to my friends actually telling some truth to it. So after that, I was still in PE for another semester. Mrs. Double R would not let's just say would not take me out of PE. And Mrs. Y, Coach Y, was very mean and got mad at this and stuff. So she wanted to have a conference with my mom, me, and Mr. Clark. That was one of the assistant principals. And I'm like rolling my eyes in this conference, and he's like, tell your daughter to, she said, I've been knowing what's been going on. My daughter was in the right of certain things. And then she goes, where is that Mrs. N? And they said, oh, she left for today. She said, no, call her back here now. So they wouldn't call Mrs. N. My mom was pissed about her, especially. She said, okay, all right, I'm going to call Internal Affairs. And then when they figured out who my mom was, they like, oh my God, we really effed up. She's not the girl to be pestering with. And Dr. R found out about it. She said she wished she was there to see it. And they went, and she said, wait, it's a video. So she went and she saw the video. My mom, she's very poised in the whole thing. And she said, anybody else who's in the class of 2000 gonna mess with my daughter, you guaranteed is wrong. So after that, I became the girl around school. Don't mess with her. She will get you suspended. She's like, and with the teachers, it was like, don't mess with her. You better have her back. You better do something to those kids. So it was like with that, teachers had to learn. So at the time, I did not know this. So it was going around with some random teachers. I actually walked in on one of my teachers saying, oh, I called I was outside the door, and I was like first back from lunch, and I said, they got the door locked. And the kids going, they got the door locked. And I said, shh, shh, shh. And I went, I had to tell them, be quiet. I said, they're talking about me. And they going, what? And the girls like got closer, and they go, what? And we got like closer to the door, and they said, well, Coach Y is like dogging Alicia, and that's not good. That's not, she's not being professional and stuff like that. So I kind of figured that out. So I had to take her for the next 2 weeks. So during this semester, I'm looking at her like red in the eyes. So she now knows something. I know something. I went back, told my mama, tell them, I said, Mama, you better call them and tell them, take me out of PE. And I told Mama what I heard some of my teachers talking about Coach White. And she goes, excuse me, my mama called up to that school and asked to speak to another guidance counselor. Okay, guess what? My mama told them if they do not take me out of the PE room, that coach will be pedigreed into that. They said, well, the semester's almost over, Miss Burton. Can you just let her just finish out? I said, yep. And coach, so they didn't. I think they kind of said something to Coach Y, because number one, I think she kind of knew that I knew what she had said about me, because it was like going around the teachers that I was like, I'm not. She was like, it was like they was like saying like she was like kind of like fat shaming me and stuff like that and thing. So when I heard that, I was just like, that don't scare me. But I said she really needs to be scared of me. She really needs to be scared for her career. And what happened next comes up to several years later. Okay, so I graduated. I graduated in 2002. So doing that, after I graduated, when I was about 23, 24, and 25, I started volunteering at my mother's school, thanks to Dr. R, Mrs. Dr. R. Okay, she has her doctorate, so yeah. And I started volunteering there. So while I was there, Dr. R let it be known, hey, Lee's Coach Y works here as well. I said, okay. I said, I don't got nothing to say to her. I'll give her messages. She be polite to me, I'll be polite to her. Okay, that was all it is to it. Now, when it came to my mama's students, I was very overprotective. So one day I had to go get, Dr. R wanted me to go get a student for her out of my mom's class. And I said, okay. And I said, and she goes, give me a minute. And then when she realized it was me, she go, what you want? I said, don't talk to me like that. I work in the office. She got scared now. She really got scared. I asked for a certain student, and I saw her ripping a good student of my mom's, like ripping him a new, you know what. And I said, you hold on. And I said, and I hauled off, and I said, you don't talk to this person, talk to her like that. I said, for a PE coach, you don't talk to a student with vulgarness. And I said, the way that you did that was vulgarness. It's better to talk to them with kindness and niceness where they will understand it. So she's like, was very shocked. I said, here you go, Dr. Rowan. And I said, you need to have a talk to your, with the PE coach. She goes, what coach, why do? I said, she was very vulgar to a student. I had to tell her she had to talk to them with niceness and kindness and don't be vulgar. She said, Liz, you told her right. But I said, just in case what I said she don't get across. So she said, okay. But then, so the first year I volunteered over there, she wanted to make sure she was in good graces with me, because everybody noticed that I wouldn't talk to her. And they go, Miss Burton, why? And so all the other teachers like going, these are the new teachers. They go, the new black teachers at the school going, why your daughter won't talk to Coach Y? She said it's some history with them when she was in high school. And they go, oh, they understood it. So here she comes up to me. Me and my mom is sitting down on this bench, and she comes up, and my mom was like, got her front. She said, what you want with my daughter? She said, I want to apologize for some stuff that happened when she was in high school. I said, oh, so now because I'm doing volunteer work at my mom's school and you work here, you want to have a good quorum with me. I said, it's a lot of things you're going to have to apologize for. She said, okay, I apologize for having the kids strip search. Okay? She apologized for that, y'all. It took me almost a year. She kept coming back and apologizing for different things that happened to me when I was in high school under her watch. And then my mom's like, sat me down. She said, Renee, just accept her apology. I wouldn't, because I was like refusing just to accept her apology. She said, you got to work with her. Just accept her apology. I said, okay. So she came back again to apologize for everything. And I said, look, I accept your apology because I got to work over here with you. I'm volunteering over here and I have to work over here with you. But understand, don't let me catch you. I said, don't let me catch you talking to a student vulgarly. That was the only way I would accept her apology. So she decided years after I graduated high school, while she's working at the same school as my mom, and then she's trying to be friends with my mom, and my mom was refusing to be friends with her because of this. And I said, okay, I'll accept your apology. I just don't want you to see how you treated me, how you treated me in school, you treat these students. And she said, okay, I won't do that. And ever since after that, everything was peachy good with me and her. And it shows, like, when you get older, people who have done you wrong will try to come and apologize. And I will say, hold off on apology before they can say, okay, I regret. And she literally said, I regret for what happened between you. And I said, do you regret for not saying anything to that pregnant girl? And she literally said the girl's name in front of my mom, and she said, I do regret. And she literally, y'all, she really said, I regret for not saying anything. And one of the things she said, I regret for not saying anything, but then I regret for not standing up for you, knowing that you was a teacher's daughter, knowing that you was going through this with her. I'm sorry. And then I did not know she lied about, and she said, she said, I wish I knew that she lied about the money thing, and I probably would have not had y'all strip search. She finally admitted her wrong. And if you can actually, when it comes to like me, I can get people to admit their wrongs. It took years later for you to admit you're wrong. And this woman actually admitted her wrong. And anytime I see her now, I speak, I say hi and stuff. And it's just, I'm being cordial, and I'm being polite. But like I said, it's a lot of things I can actually tell y'all parents that I went through. And it's like, with that story right there, it shows when a teacher sees you years later and they see you and they realize, think about when they see you and they know what you went through under their being in their class, they're going to know, oh my God, I need to go up and apologize. And that's what I got. All I wanted from her was an apology. I wanted her to admit her wrongs. And it took me being at my mom's school, volunteering for her to admit her wrong. Y'all, I know this is a long story time, but that is that. If you got any questions about how to deal with high school bullies like this one, comment below. But y'all, this is all I have time for. Until then, I'm Alicia. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.